Global Grandmothers Council Network is an international circle of women dedicated to nurturing wisdom, compassion, and stewardship for the well-being of all life. Co-founded by Suzanne Lewis and Sharon Raiji Maynard, the network was shaped with guidance from Brooke Medicine Eagle and the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers. Through initiatives, gatherings, publications, and collaborative initiatives, GGCN uplifts the voices of grandmothers and elders to inspire healing, community, and a more balanced world.
Welcome.
Welcome. Our mission is to nurture deep care, reverence, and wisdom that honor the sacred nature of life.
To foster inclusive and just communities that uphold the health, dignity, and well-being of all beings across all realms.
To preserve and protect and share the wisdom of our elders and grandmothers.
And to offer guidance to a world urgently in need of rooted, compassionate leadership.
Our vision is a world where the sacredness of all life is honored, not only in word, but in the daily actions of individuals.
A world where generations are woven together in love, wisdom, and mutual respect.
Now we're going to hear from some of our grandmothers about their experience in Global Grandmothers Council Network.
My name is Gayle Crosmaz, grandmother Gayle Crosmaz, and I was raised in Ojibwe territory, which is also known as Anishinaabe, in southern Ontario. And now I live in northern Ontario in Algonquin territory. So the Global Grandmothers is very important to me because I live in the wilderness and I don't have much contact with people. So they have enabled me to spread my word out to the Americas of Central America, South America, and North America to help people empower themselves. Thank you.
Hi. Michele, Margaret, Juliet, Telfer. It's with great joy that I stand here or sit in front of you and share the amazing community that I stumbled across inadvertently, intentionally though. I had a mission. I had to find a Global Grandmothers Network, and I was directed to this one and met with Suzanne. It was through meeting with Suzanne. She saw my passion, invited me to become administrator for the Facebook page. And since then, we have grown exponentially, globally, internationally, culturally. And I myself have been fostered with such beautiful connections, a conduit for this new energy, for the survival of beautiful family of love, for overthrowing the old school of thought. The old established era is over. This now is our time to be standing in the presence, aligned with nature, aligned with change, to bring in and foster an awareness that is intrinsic for us all to move forward. It's time to develop and connect with communities internationally, to grow communities internationally and locally, and to reach out to everyone that is available to understand, see, and bring in a new alignment and an awareness of the changes that we need to bring in to be returned a nourishing, nurturing, natural, environmental future that we can foster for our grandchildren by honoring our ancestors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
I'm Mayana Kingery, administrator for the nonprofit organization GGCN. And my role with Global Grandmothers Council Network began with divine inspiration from Michele as she invited me to nurture and care for this growing movement along with Suzanne Lewis. Of all the experiences since that beginning, our relationships here are what have nurtured me and helped me to grow. When challenges arose, these women stood together, side by side, with a vision for the future and care for one another. We know we are all here for each other, and we actively participate in our mutual connections. I've come to know many women from places across this planet this last year, and we speak of our lives and our hopes and our challenges and our love for the generations that follow. And something very natural begins to happen. The distance between us fades. We recognize one another as sisters, as grandmothers, as women who carry a deep care for life itself. These relationships have touched my heart because they're genuine. They're not built on titles or roles, but on presence, listening, and the willingness to walk beside one another. Again and again, I see that when women gather in respect and trust, something powerful is created. A quiet strength emerges, wisdom is shared, and we all feel that sense of belonging, and it grows. For me, that's the true gift of Global Grandmothers Council Network. We're weaving relationships across the world, heart to heart, hand in hand, standing together all across the land and building a future where our children will thrive.
Thank you, Maya. So I'm Kalina, I'm Kintsugi woman, but I am the Global Grandmothers Council Network editor, and we are a constellation of sisters. And these ethereal threads that are connecting from me to you, we are all so connected, and divinely we are feminine power. And we, as Kintsugi women, we've been broken and we've been shattered and we've been put back together. And it was during a time of this that I had bronchitis that I met Mayana, and I began talking to her and started a network with a newsletter, and we ended up creating a beautiful magazine for all of you. And so this part of us that is just that we have put together with all of the voices of the grandmothers and many grandmothers. And we have over 55,000 grandmothers in 50 countries that I am so proud to be part of and share their voices every month. You know, and we've got this sassy part of us I've retired, and now I've found my voice, especially through Global Grandmothers. And this sassy and sacred part of us can shine through. And so I just encourage you, if you haven't joined us, to join our group of grandmothers. I am also a Canadian. I live just down by London, Ontario, and I'm just so happy to be here.
I'm Kelley Springer, Butterfly Woman. I live in Southern Oregon, and I'm a Louisiana girl from the South, and have grown up moving west, migrating over the years throughout my life. And I work with my own traditions and my Native American and Celtic roots, and incorporate those in my practice and in my walk in life. And when I was living in Southern Oregon years ago, I met Mayana. And some years ago, she moved away. And suddenly, I got in touch with her one day, and she was like, "Kelley, come into the Global Grandmothers with me." And I jumped in. And I'm so glad I did. It's been a profound place to have reflection, to meet other really powerful, authentic, beautiful women who are walking with wisdom, who have had powerful experiences, who are shining their stories and using their voices to inspire all of us. So the word inspiration lives in the Global Grandmothers to me. And being a regular contributor now to the magazine has been a joy. It's been so much fun to work with Kalina and with the idea of bringing our stories out onto a platform where we can really shine and share with more people. It's been powerful to witness grandmothers getting connected and brought out into the world to share their voices and to even kind of model what it means to be a global grandmother in the world, carrying wisdom out and sharing it with others. This, for me, is a profound place of meeting authentic, powerful, beautiful women that make you feel like you're coming home again and again. And to me, that's tribe. And I feel like our contribution to the world is an army, the beautiful arms of the grandmothers. So I believe that we're needed more than ever in our world right now. And this is a wonderful time and place for women to come together, to be safe, to feel held in love, and to be caring for each other, and to support one another, to use our voices for greater good. I'm myself very honored to be part of it. And thank you for letting me share.
Women come naturally to peacemaking. They also may feel the consequences of the failure of peace more keenly than men. The Palestinian diplomat Leila Shahid tragically took her own life last month after 3 decades of working for peace in the Middle East. Men who insist on making war and AR cartoons that promote and justify war, gamify it, celebrate how much war they can create, are pathetic and dangerous, and they need to be gone. I'm optimistic. I heard from a wise man in a consciousness circle the other day, we're coming to the closing of the darkness. I'm a retired English teacher, so I know a little about Hearts of Darkness. I'm a writer and performer with my own play about peace and ethical obligation, and I associate with volunteer organizations devoted to peace, climate correction, women's rights, children's protection, democracy, and the advancement of the Jewish idea of tikkun olam, heal this broken world. Uphold a morality that sees all human beings, especially the most vulnerable among us, as fully human. 2 years ago, I met an extraordinary group of women through Facebook and through my laptop screen. I was drawn to their message, the message we read a moment ago. The Global Grandmothers Council Network nurtures my soul. I learn from my sister grandmothers, those here and those with us in spirit, like the late grandmother Suzanne Lewis with her water wisdom and her beautiful, meaningful carved gourds. Grandmother Sharon, alive and well, teaching us the power of our staff in the ground, sword to the sky to claim truth and discernment. From the UK, Grandmother Catherine's quiet generosity, teaching us about Buddhism and meditation and charity by example. Many more, each gifted with a certain grace of knowing and being. Regina, Leanne, Joan, Audrey, Robin, Victoria, Sandra Farrell, Carol Schaefer, many, many more. It was an honor to interview some of them. Those recordings are on the GGCN website, and they're on my YouTube channel, Sandra Laub. We all replenish our hope for peace through our individual and collective commitments, expressed through these circles, live and in person, and live and online. We've gotten pretty good at it. They're fun. We laugh a lot. We did today doing this recording. Our online communities, through our kind and intentional thinking and being, help steer this human and more than human world in a direction that will serve all sentient beings. May there be more circles, interconnected and unbroken and ever widening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak and to be a part of this circle.
Thanks, Sandra. I'm Susan Meeker-Lowry, and I live in Duanesburg, New York. I grew up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. In my past life, I was an activist, organizer, writer in the 1980s to about the 2000s, and my work at that time was to integrate Earth as a living sentient being into economics. I was perhaps the first person, definitely in the US, to use the term Gaian economics, and my work involved creating an economy for the living Earth. Now I offer natural perfumes and most recently inspired anointing oils to awaken our senses and help us remember at a deep level who we are and why we're here. The Global Grandmothers Council Network is more than a network of grandmothers. It's a community and a gathering place to meet and connect with wise, diverse, and powerful women from all over the world, most of whom are also spiritually aware, curious seekers, which is what attracted me almost 2 years ago. Such an incredible opportunity in and of itself, but Global Grandmothers Council Network can become much more than that, depending on what you put into it. I have met some amazing women and have begun joining their circles, and they have begun joining mine, which is called the Magic of Scent Circle. And it's a beautiful, natural, intuitive process. And we're beginning to, it's like the circles are now starting to intersect, and we're seeing familiar faces in different circles on different subjects, but the foundation is the same. And the connections that we're making are making a huge difference in my life. I live alone with my cat. I've had some health issues over the past year or two, and there have been times when the Global Grandmothers Council Network and some of the individual women that I have met I feel like in some cases they've saved my life. It sounds dramatic, but you know, we have to maintain a certain energy and frequency, and if we don't, we fall. And these women have helped me stand, literally. As we weave these connections, we strengthen and grow the web, the network of light that all grandmothers, past, present, and future, are weaving. And that's one of the images, one of the visions that actually brought me to this network, because when I heard about it, I saw the network of grandmothers that I had been communicating with for months before I knew about the Global Grandmothers Council Network. And I just knew that this was the network that was part of that. And this was the network to participate in, to be a part of greatly expanding and strengthening that network of love and light that ultimately is going to, that's what's going to solve everything, honestly. I sense a growing cohesiveness energetically and heart generated among us all. I sense this is both powerful and important. And I pray that this is the truth. Thank you.
Forgiveness.
Inclusive belonging, love.
Peace and harmony.
Sisterhood and belonging.
Empowered reflections and expression.
More peace.
Coherence and resonance.
Thank you for being with us. We are the Global Grandmothers Council Network. You can find us on Facebook with that name, and our website is globalgrandmotherscouncil.org, where you'll find our magazine and all the wonderful things about us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.